I'm going to share how I build AI assistant. It will be connected to real CRM. This is actually a real life example because this is connected to clients Hubspot, and this is what exactly you would use for your client. And this is not just a regular chatbot. This connected to CRM and operates with real-time data. Let's start. And let's see our AI customer assistant in action. As you can see that we have here 4 branches. One is loan status, calculator, inquiries, and no much. We use this as a Q&A section. Okay, let's start our conversation with the question, what are current rates? And now let's say that I want to track the loan status. Application ID, here we provide it. Now it asks for phone number for verification. And as we see, our application is approved. Let's then ask about calculate. Let's choose 15 years, 500,000. Great. And now let's ask question from FAQ section. Great, it works. As you see here, this is our database and we will use it for easily changing the data. Before we start, we have to understand what is CMS and why business use it. CMS stands for Content Management System, and it's like a special tool to keep everything in one place, and businesses are able to change their content in a website without being an expert. And this is the great tool that keeps everything in one place, and user can easily change the price, the description of product, or website logo, everything they want. How cool is it? This is very important thing to understand, that all the businesses are using some sort of CMS. In this case, I'm showing you how I'm doing this with Hubspot. Now let's talk about HubDB. So HubDB is like a database, so user can actually change the data there. So in our case, if user wants to change some rates, he has to go to database and change the numbers there, and it will directly affect their website and also will affect our AI assistant. And also HubDB can keep all the things in one place, so user can easily find the thing what they need to change. Enough talking, let's start developing. This is our Hubspot, and we have to do here 2 things. First is we have to create a HubDB, so database, and another thing is that we have to create an API access key. Let's start with database. So here in the search bar, we are typing HubDB. And let's create our first table. Let's give it a name, mortgage rate. Here by default we got 2 columns, ID and name, and also we want to add extra one. Here we're gonna call value and then provide column type number. And let's add a row. First is mortgage 15, and let's give. That's all for rates. Don't forget to publish this. Then we are going to create a mortgage tables. We are going to add some extra columns as well. We're gonna delete this column and add another one. First name, then we're gonna add a last name, a column. Now we are adding phone number. Also here you can change column type. For me, text works. And last one is status. Okay, we're going to add rows. Okay, here you see the database of mortgages, and I added 10 rows here, and don't forget to publish. Cool, we're done with database, and now let's start configuring our API access key. To find the configuration, you're gonna go to the profile and preferences. Here you're gonna find the private apps, and here you're going to create new one. So here we give a name, and here on the scopes under standard, you want to find the HubDB create app. Create. Now we got our private app. So this is our private app, and here we under us we can find our token, and this token we will use for our HubDB access. Okay, here we are. So let's start with greetings. Hi, my name is John from USA Mortgage, just random name. How can I help you today? And let's generate 3 variants. And next what we are going to do is to create 4 separate features. First will be the loan status, mortgage calculator, Q&A, and rates. So for this we're creating a choice block, and we're creating a first intent. Let's start with loan status. As you see here we have an indicator, it says medium, so let's create 5 more. Now we see that it's excellent. Cool. Also, to keep things clear, I really love to create separate folders for each of the intent or for each of the paths. So let's create a folder here or topic. Let's call it loan status. And here we are going to select action, go to intent. here we select loan status, loan status. Another choice would be a mortgage calculator. So we create mortgage calculator and create intent. So as you see, this indicator said that this is weak. Let's add extra ones. Let's add, can you help me with mortgage calculation? And let's try to generate 5. What does it say? Okay, now we have medium one, and let's add more. So we have excellent, great, and this is strong, and I think that's enough. And let's create a topic here, and let's configure to jump to the intent in the mortgage calculator. Now let's add another choice, strong, and we can create it. Same, we create a topic here called rates, and here we also give a name, rates. Sweet, and also we have actions here, go to intent, rates. Great, and last but not least, Q&A section. For this, what we want to do is when we don't have a match, then we are trying to answer this question with knowledge base. For this, we are going to configure and add no match. So for no match, we are going to AI response, and here we are going to tell to answer the user's question, but using knowledge base. And now we have to create our knowledge base. And what we do here, we are creating knowledge base here. So we are adding our data source. Okay, we added the context, and I suggest to check how it works. So here we click preview, and let's ask the question here. Yes, great, it works. All right, and to finish this Q&A session, I create the text and say, is there something else I can do for you? And I will generate 3 extra just for have variation. And let's take a choice, and let's say yes and no. So when no, we go to end. When it's yes, we are going back here. Great, we're done with Q&A, and let's start with loan status. And we start with text. We say, sure, I will be happy to help you. Please provide an application ID. And I suggest to create 5 different variations. So to get the data from this table, we are going to copy this ID of the table and use this URL. Then we're going to set the headers. So header, this is for our authentication. So we select parameter authentication here. Value of this would be a barrier, then space, and then the value itself. And as I already told this, we are going to take this from private apps, and we are selecting this value and use it here. So look at this closely. Barrier, then space, and then our access key. And then to verify it works, we send request. And as we see, it works because we have 200. Okay. But that's not all, because we want to save this data somewhere, right? We're going to capture the response here. This is a chain how you access to your value exactly, because as you see, let's send once again, because in the response we have objects. So see here, we are choosing objects, then we are choosing 0 because we are taking like first element of the array. And then we are choosing the internal like values. And then we want to take this 1 second. So because we want this value, this is the way how we extract data. And here we want to apply this to custom variable, create variable. Let's verify we extracted our data correctly by doing this. So let's do it here. Okay, I fixed it. So the problem was that I had as a string, but actually it wants to have like number. So in fail case, we want to say whoops, something went wrong, and let's give a color gamma here, so red. And here let's go to block something else. I just realized that we are on the loan status, but actually we are checking the rates. Sorry about that. So just select all and copy and paste here. Okay, so we are on the rates. Now we got our rates here. Okay, we created a rate for 15. Now let's create a new rate for 30. So this is how we capture the rate for 30 years. And let's verify if it works. Click here, testing. Let's see. Great, it works, but now let's provide better response. So here we say rate for 15-year term is 15 and rate for 30-year term is 30. Let's run. Okay, this looks like it works. 15 years, rate for 30 is 3. Awesome. Okay, now let's go for loan status. Okay, for loan status, we're going to choose text and we're going to say, sure, please provide an application ID, and let's give this block a name, and let's capture the application ID itself. So we are capturing application ID. So we going to say that give me a moment, I'm checking your application, and basically we want to do this because we want to give a API time for response, would usually between 1 and 3 seconds. And then we are going to send a request. So here we are setting our URL. Also same, we are selecting the table ID, what is from mortgages, and also we adding application ID in the end of the URL. So same thing here, we are going to add headers for authorization. So here we're adding barrier token and say that this is for authorization, and let's send the request to make sure that everything works correctly. Great, and now we want to save all of this data. So we are creating a new variable first name. We are extracting the value from this, so from values second. Next we are creating another variable last name, and we are extracting the value as well. Next we're going to create phone number, and the value is 4, and then we're going to create a status variable and extract value 5 here. And let's verify if we done everything correct. So first name is value 2, last name value 3, phone number value 4, and status is 5. Great. Okay, now if it failed, then we say sorry and we give a color red. And now this part will be interesting because we are going to add extra layer of validation, and we will request a phone number to make sure that this person is really connected to this application. And let's say provide phone number for application verification, and we're going to listen, capture what users say, and we're going to create a new variable called phone confirmation. And here we're going to add a condition. So we want to check if phone, what user type in the verification is the same as it is on the application, then we let it go. If not, then we say sorry. So we give a condition name and add the condition. We select a variable, and we want to make sure that a phone confirmation is the same as a phone number. And also we're going to find no match. So in case that user provided wrong phone number, we say sorry, phone number is not correct. And let's lead it to block. Is there something else we can help you with? And also let's give it a red. And in case it works, then we will ask AI to respond it, and we give this prompt, and let's try how it works. So let's start here. It asks for application ID, and we can find this application ID here. So ID, we type it here. Please provide phone number for application verification. So we select that one, and we got response. Okay, your application has been granted final approval. Great. And we forgot to lead this to the blog. Is there something else we can help you with? Great. And now let's start with final thing is mortgage calculator. So let's say the user that here on the mortgage calculation. So here we're going to get all the rates, same as we did with rates. So basically what we want to do is copy and paste. So go to rates, and we want to copy and mortgage calculator, paste, and then we just simply drag and drop here. And again, if it failed, we want to say, oops, something went wrong, and give the color red. Here we are going to say that we have 2 offers. So one is for 15 years, another one for 30 years, which one you want to be calculated. And here we are going to say listen, and we are going to add buttons. So first button will be for 15-year term, another button going to be 13-year term. So here we're going to say that current rate for 15-year term is rate 15, and then we are going to do some calculation. And here we're going to ask the user how much does he want to borrow, and then we are adding the extra variant, and also we will capture the total of it. So we will create a new variable called total, and here we are going to add the custom JavaScript code. Feel free to use ChatGPT to generate a JavaScript code, same as I did it. And here our function, so we have the calculate mortgage function, so there is a formula, and I think we can also add before JavaScript execution the text. Give me a moment to calculate monthly mortgage payment for you. And here, as always, we are going to say sorry if something goes wrong, give it a red, and also send it to block something else. Okay, great. Okay, and for default case, we would say monthly is this much and down payment is this much. And here we are going to block same as there is something else and give it a color green. Okay, let's test. Let's figure out how much mortgage we offer. 15 year. How much they want to borrow? $500,000. Okay, so we see that I forgot to create these two variables from here. So I created in JavaScript. It doesn't know about this variable, and also it doesn't know about this variable. Okay, let's create one. So we are going to create a down payment, and also we are going to create monthly mortgage payment. Create one. Great. Now let's try. Let's do the same for 30 years. So we are saying current rate for 30 is 30. Let's give it another color, but not red. Let's do blue. And also let's say how much do we want to borrow, and let's capture, and then let's jump to, and let's actually clone this. We give it a green. Here we give it a blue, and we're going to clone it here, but also we have to remember that here is long term is 15. We want to change it to 30, and also rate to 30 as well. So for fail, as always, oops, and for default we're going to say actually the same. So I think we can kind of move it like this and say it like this. How good it is? Let's try. 30 years, kind of is 3%. We want to put $500,000. Monthly payment this, down payment is this. Great, is there something else I can do for you? Awesome. Okay, and now let's give it a test. Also, we have to train our assistant, and then let's run a test. Okay, let's start the conversation. What are current rates? Okay, good. What else you can do for me? I want to track loan status. Application ID. Let's take one from Robert. The ID. Give me a moment. Phone number. Pre-qualified. Great. What else? Great. We created an AI assistant that can communicate with data with real CRM, and this is a real life example of what we are building in Lightside for our clients. Check out this video about how I built another AI assistant.